Hi, it's Coach Glenn, and in this video we will talk on how to fire employees with the less risk possible and the most positive outcome for you and your company. For those who don't know me, I help 7- and 8-figure business owners to stay on top and still grow their business. And if you don't have any horror stories about firing an employee and then getting some huge consequences, backfires at your business, here are some examples from the companies I know personally. And the first example is about a support remote employee who was offboarded without proper notice, and his actions led to the main sales accounts of the company being permanently banned by the platform, resulting in more than $250,000 loss just in the first 6 months after the bans occurred. Just imagine an employee causing a damage that is more than 100 times higher than this employee's salary. Next example is from trading e-commerce business, where the company had its own warehouses, and the person who was offboarded was a regular warehouse worker. And from this worker's perspective, right, the offboarding was not pleasant, and it resulted in this employee who got fired going absolutely nuts and putting the whole warehouse on fire, resulting in 5 million in lost goods. Of course, there was an insurance, but it still took a lot of time and resources to get the money back from insurance. And don't forget the cost of opportunity, since the company was not able to get the profit from selling those goods. And this example shows that if offboarding is done wrong, it can cause your business huge losses or even lead to bankruptcy. When you fire people, you have to understand two important things. First one will be that you, as a business owner, have much more to lose compared to an employee. And if we are talking about remote employee, they might not have any assets at all, and you, with all your wealth and your company, have much more to lose, which gives those people leverage against you, even they don't have their own resources. Second important concept to understand when you fire people is a Latin saying, casus belli, meaning a justification for a war. So if you give a person a reason, right, a moral ground to go against you, so that his own consciousness and the people around will support this person, then you put yourself in an extremely weak position in business. And here is where I help as a business coach, so that you as a business owner will be in a position of power, so that those employees or whoever wants to threaten you will not be able to do so. Important notice, nothing in this video is a legal advice, and it's presented from the practical business perspective. Let's talk about 3 important steps. And the first step on what to do: first, if you are planning to fire someone, you need to tell the supervisor of this employee to give you a list of all the accesses this person ever had. Can be emails, can be databases, can be anything legal related. And then the second list the supervisor needs to give you is a list of potential damage that this employee can cause if something goes wrong and the employee will become crazy. Not to forget other side effects of firing a person. If this employee has been in the team for a couple of years and has influence in the team's morale will go down and the team's performance may go down, right? If you're firing an employee who was in a relationship with your clients before, let's say in support or in sales, then the transition needs to be done thoughtfully, right? So that it's not appearing to a client like out of nowhere the person was removed. And I saw this causing the company huge losses, hundreds of thousands of dollars, because there was a relationship between the employee who got fired and the clients. And in some cases, this employee actually brought those clients to competitors, which you definitely don't want to happen. So if you have an itch, right, to fire someone right away, take a big breath, right, and go through this process so that you will not put your company and your wealth in danger, all right? This is an extremely important topic when you fire people is communication. Don't do any sudden moves. And your managers who are doing the firing should not do any extremely fast moves like removing people right away from any Slack ClickUp channels. It causes the people go nuts. It causes the team morale drops dramatically because people think, okay, it can happen to them at any time, and they will start looking for something more predictable, since it's the main desire of an employee, having a predictable life. Clients and partners will definitely see this as a weakness if someone disappears out of the blue. And for your employees, I have a specific, easy to follow SOP for offboarding. So you can find it in the description down below. And just tell your managers to watch this video and read this SOP and implement it. There is one important thing that most of the business owners forget when they fire people. This is about what will happen next after this employee is fired. Other employees cover their responsibilities of the fired person. In that case, do they know those responsibilities? Do you have SOPs for those responsibilities? Maybe you were thinking upfront and you have a person who is already on probation for the same position, so that whenever you fire a person, you already have a trained replacement. Something that a lot of CEOs forget to consider is that if the person was loyal to a company, right, and for some reason this person needs to be fired, and it's not because the person betrayed you or caused some huge damage, then it's worth considering if there is any other position where this person can bring value. This move can help you a lot from the power perspective, from the leadership perspective in your team, and it will create a loyal soldier for you. By the way, if you want to recruit the best people on the market, then I have a video about a recruiting funnel that was tested on more than 500,000 candidates. And of course, you will find the video link in the description. It might sound that a proper offboarding is a lot of work, and It's easier and faster just to fire the person and forget about that. The business experience will eventually show you that it's much more expensive and time-consuming to deal with the mess created by wrong offboarding. Stay profitable. Click the like, subscribe. Your Coach Glenn.